All right, we are in here. We are in here. We are doing it. Let's see what we got here. Uh, let's try. Okay, we'll go with something a little different. Turn that down. We are in here. We're in here. Wanted to say hello to everybody out there. Hey. God bless all of you. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So good to see everybody, and hoping that you guys are having. Uh, oh, okay, all right. Hoping you guys are having a great week so far. I mean, it's only 2 days in. I mean, I'm hoping so. And yes, I got a word. I haven't said that in a long time. You got a word, Prophet? I got a word. Now, I don't have the word of 2019. I'm not going to release it yet. I'm going to wait till, like I said, I am. But I have a word for your week. And so the word is about the government shutdown. The word is, I literally just got this as coming on. That's not what I plan on coming on to say, but as I sat in this hot seat, the Spirit was speaking to me about something. And uh, anyway, so I want to talk about the government shutdown. I want to talk to you about your government shutdown. Don't let this government shutdown cause you to have a government shutdown. You may say, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by me having a government shutdown? Doc, I'm not a government, but you are a government. And what really is government? Okay. Um, Government has two words attached to it. You have govern and then the word ment from the Greek word mentis, mentis, meaning the mind. You get the things like mentality from the root word mentis. So what is government, right? What is your government? Your government is your mind control, right? To govern the mind, to govern the thinking, to govern the internal process, and to govern the mentis. All right. So I don't want you to be distraught. I don't want the external government shutdown to cause an internal government shutdown. What do I mean by that? I mean a total loss of internal faculties. I mean, I don't want you going into fear. I don't want you going into anxiety. I don't want you going into doubt and into double mindedness. Right? I don't want you to have an internal government shutdown. I don't want you to have you just lose your mind. I need you to control your mental faculties because your mental faculties are going to direct the way that your objective is going to manifest. All right. So don't have a breakdown of your internal government. You know, regardless of what may be happening external to you, make sure that your internal government is still working like a well-oiled machine. All right. This is why it is said that the government shall be upon his shoulders. What is that talking about? It's talking about you. Your government is on your shoulders. Your government, your control of the mind is on your shoulders. Your head is there. Let your government be upon your shoulders and not upon the shoulders of somebody else. Don't let anyone else, anything else knock your head off. Knock your head off your shoulders. Let the government be upon your shoulders. All right. That being, and I got that off my chest. What's going on in your neck of the woods? What is going on in your neck of the woods? What's happening where you are? And then I'll give you an update on what's happening on my end. Let me know if this is your first time viewing me. What is going on with this camera? I don't know. This is your first time viewing me. Make sure that you like and subscribe and ring the bell and I mean, they just keep giving you a longer list of stuff to do on YouTube. I need to have a checklist when I come on live. Tell them to like, tell them to subscribe, tell them to ring the bell, tell them to share. So, my goodness, that's a lot to keep up with. It really is hard being a subscriber to people these days. I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because from what I've been told, and again, I don't have 1,000, so I don't know if it's true or not. That once you get 1,000 subscribers, then you can like post statuses or whatever on YouTube. You can put pictures up and post things in real time. So I would like to have that feature and kind of stay in touch with you guys throughout my week, in between videos, what I'm looking at, what I'm thinking about, what I'm contemplating, etc. This is your first time, let me know where you're from. Let me know how you found out about me. Definitely want to encourage you to join the Hoodoo Bible Study on Facebook. It is one of the best kept secrets in the online Hoodoo community. All right, it's called the Hoodoo Bible Study on Facebook. Well, thank you. Now that I'm thinking about that, I gotta put a post up in Facebook about that. So I'm glad I said that. So anyway, I've been asked about the 21-day prayer, the 21-day miracle. All right, so let me go into that. What is the 21-day miracle? The 21-day miracle, you can write this down. I'm going to put this up in the little caption. The 21-day miracle is your battering ram against stubborn conditions. I'll say that again. Your 21-day miracle prayer, all right, is your battering ram against stubborn conditions. I don't care if it's stubborn conditions in your family, if it's related to work, your employment, your money, your health, your mind, your body, whatever. If you are undergoing a stubborn condition, all right, then you want to get the 21-day miracle prayer. Here's the beautiful thing about it. It is absolutely 100% free. All right. It's free. All right. If you want to leave a donation for it, wonderful. All right. If you don't, wonderful. Okay. This is my gift to you. This is something that I use personally. I'm not giving you something that somebody else gave me. It's something I've used personally when there has been a situation, a condition, a circumstance that just will not budge. It just won't budge. All right. You have Cash App. I do have Cash App. I don't use Cash App. I prefer PayPal. It just won't budge. Okay. Sometimes you will have situations where there's just way too much momentum behind the situation. Think of it. You're in an SUV. You're going 80 miles an hour. You're trying to make a 90-degree turn. Good luck with that. All right. You're going to have to slow down and then turn the wheel, and then do that. Why? There is a force at work that if you just try to turn that wheel, your car is going to flip. It's the only way it can release the energy it's been building in momentum. All right. There are times when you will be in a condition that has so much momentum. It can be the amount of people involved. It can be the amount of time that has lapsed. But there's a lot of momentum behind that situation. All right. And so, by working in a 21-day cycle, all right, you can dismantle and reconstruct the energetic blueprint of that condition. Now, in the instructions, all right, in the instructions, let me go to Facebook right now. There are only two things that you need besides the prayer itself, and that is a glass of water and a white candle. All right. If you can, if you want to use a tea light, use a tea light. If you want to use one of the chime candles, use a chime candle. If you want to use a 7-day vigil, use a 7-day vigil. Use whatever you can get your hands on. All right. And a glass of water. Okay. And what you're going to do, I recommend that you start early in the morning before the sun rises. All right. Before the sun rises. There is a passage of scripture where God challenges Job to command his morning. And the beautiful thing about spiritualists is that we have the know-how to command our morning. All right. Most spiritualists that I know have some kind of morning routine, morning protocol, whether it's prayer, whether it's saluting the Nganga, whether it is opening up their temple, whether it is reading, there's a reading they do, lighting candles for refreshing water for their ancestors. There's something that they do in the morning when they get up. All right. And there's something to be said about that. All right. And if you remember, the old timers, they would get up before the sun got up and prepare their day. Right? I made a post. Oh yes. I made a post a few weeks ago after I left Charleston. I was staying with my grandmother down there for the holidays, checking in on her and seeing family and whatnot. And I thought I have kind of a night owl. A lot of mystics that I know are night owls. And by the time that I was about to go to sleep, I said, I might as well stay because if somebody come up and go ahead and do my prayers. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm pretty sure I'm the only person up. And I'm hearing this noise in the house. So at that time, I was the only guy in the house. So immediately, I'm my alarm is on. Okay, who is in the house? Why is in the dark? I'm like, what is going on? So when you listen, you stop everything. You turn the phone off. You just listen. So I get up out of the bed, and I get to the door, and I'm listening. And I'm like, okay, somebody on the phone. So I'm listening even harder, right? And lo and behold, it's my grandmother, and she's praying. And I haven't been around her around 5 o'clock in the morning for so long. Okay, that I forgot that is her daily regimen. She's been doing that since I was born. I came into the world hearing my grandmother pray, hearing her pray about 5 o'clock every morning on her knees. And it would be so funny because I have a lot of cousins in my family. And a lot of them, she's the matriarch. So she, is going to babysit the kids, all that kind of stuff. So we have a full house a lot of times. Okay. And whenever we would mix up, and she would, yell at us or whatever. She couldn't remember whose name she was talking about. We had so many names. So she would be calling one, this name, the other one that name, and they were like, that's not me. But what's so amazing is that whenever she would get on her knees to pray, she would remember each of our names. It would always surprise me. Always surprise me. And she's been doing that for, like I said, since I was born. Okay. My point being that there is something to be said about starting your day off right. There is something to be said about setting, what they say, setting the intention for your day, right? Something to be said about that. It's going to cultivate what you want in your day. In other words, you can set an intention, set an objective, whether it is looking over your vision board, whether it is taking a stroll through memory lane about what you want to accomplish today, whether it is looking at your dream journal, whatever your daily morning practice is. If you don't have one, I recommend you get one. All right. It'll really bless you, I promise. So, to the question, I recommend that you do that prayer at the beginning of the day before the sun comes up. All right. You say that prayer. You pray it over your water. All right. And then you drink the water. All right. Now, if you're really deep, you would take that water into a spray bottle, and then throughout your day, while you're at work or whatever, you'll be spritzing away. You'll be spritzing your prayer, all right, into the environment. If you're really deep, because some of y'all really deep. You may put it in a bath or in a head wash or something like that. Because some of y'all too deep for my blood. But anyway, so those are some ideas about how to deploy the water. But you want to do this for 21 days. Now, I would never tell anybody that something is a guarantee. There's just no guarantees in life. There just aren't. All right. Anyone's telling you different, probably trying to bullshit you. All right. And I'm a tar, so I know bullshit. Okay. But what I can say is this: something changes. Something changes. All right. I'm not going to say that your condition is going to take a 180 turn, though that is not uncommon. But something will change. Either the situation will change or you will change. But at the end of 21 days, something has to be different. Has to. All right. If you've got health conditions, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, osteoporosis, carpal tunnel, insomnia. There you go. See, Ladybug's gone. She's on it. See, she went real deep for you. See, you gotta watch Ladybug. See, no, but she's right. She's right. Putting it in a water diffuser is a really good idea. All right. That being said, it's called the 21-day prayer. Matter of fact, while I'm talking about it, let me pull up my YouTube and put it in there. Then I'm going to tell you all about. So, here's something very interesting. I had gotten a vision. About 2 weeks ago, I got in a vision. I was sitting in my workroom. I was facing one of my shrines. It's going to blow you away. And I had a vape. And I was like, and I looked back and said, it's not a cigar. I was like, why am I vaping? I'm not a vapor. I didn't get vapor. I'm just not a vapor. It's just not my thing. This is not my thing. So that kind of like, okay, what is that about? So I started searching and Googling you know, and investigating. I'm one of the kind of people. If I get something in a dream, a vision, I'm gonna investigate the hell out of it. I'm gonna find out the ins and the outs of it. So, and I was trying to remember what the vape looked like, trying to match it up. It wasn't. It was definitely like a pin shaped vape. It wasn't like one of them big bulky ones that I saw. So I'm looking on that on YouTube reviews, and so I'm looking at the science of vaping, and it's, you've got the e-liquid, all this kind of chemistry stuff, because I like stuff like that. And I'm like, this is beyond me. They're talking about VC and VG and all the kind of acronyms, and it was a lot. And so I asked my team, because a lot of my students, they vape also. So I'm like, what do these words mean? I'm like, well, do you want a cartridge one? Do you want a pen? Do you want a draw? I was like, I don't know, man. I had a vision. Okay, help me out. I don't know what I'm looking for. I saw in the spirit. I don't know what to do with it. So I just took a step back. I thought, okay, maybe I'm misinterpreting it. I don't know what this is for. Clearly, I'm not going to be feeding my spirit's vapor. I don't believe in that. There's some people who do. I don't believe in that. All right. That's for a cigar. I'm going to give them a cigar. All right. You know, that's me. So anyway, then I know Papa Lou's got a vape. I'm like, okay, what's going on with all these vape around me? I said, this is just not my thing. So then I came across a dry herb vaporizer. So I started studying this thing. All right, because I got a couple of different herbs. If you catch my drift, okay. We got company, so we can't speak when we want to speak. But got a couple of herbs, in my botanicals. So I'm like, okay, it's a dry herb vaporizer. How does this thing work? And I said, well, can you put other different plants in here? And it's like, yeah, you can. So okay. So I found one online that looked pretty good, had awesome reviews across the board, and went on their website. It's very simplistic. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So I called them, customers, because it's my first time doing any of this stuff. I don't know anything about any of this. All I've got is, um, YouTube and Google. And when somebody picked up the phone, I was shocked. We live in an age where you get an automated answer machine like anything else. And I was like, so I didn't say anything just to make sure it wasn't an automated. Something to sound real human like. She was like, "Hello, anybody?" I said, "Yeah, I'm calling to, I had a question about your product." So she said, "Okay," and she answered my question. And what she didn't know, she said, "I'm gonna contact my boss and have him contact you." I said, "Oh, okay, all right. You need my email?" I said, "No, we'll call you." Oh, y'all do callbacks. Oh, okay, y'all really want business. Okay. The brother called me back the next day and said, "Yeah, we do X, Y, and Z. We don't do X, Y, and Z." I said, "Okay." I said, "All right. I'll buy it." It wasn't terribly expensive. So I said, "Okay, I'll buy it. I'll try this thing out." Boy, when that thing came, I'm vaporizing everything. I'm vaporizing everything. I'm vaporizing everything. I like it. It's called the what's the thing called again? It is called the Dynavac M. They ain't paying me to say this. I need to get an affiliate with them. But I really, really like it. I was shocked, and it looked when I held it in my hand, I had a what do you call it? Deja vu from my vision. I said, okay, this might be it. So I decided to throw that out. That's kind of the things I've been up to lately. What else have you been dealing with lately? That's what keep me on track. That's what we getting this prayer for y'all. Oh, this is the last week for the 30% off. So last week. All right. So it'll probably be the last week. So if you don't get in by Friday, then you're gonna be stuck like Chuck. So if you've been waiting to get the best deal for my products, now is the time. Now is the time. All right, everything online is 30% off. Now for the prayer. All right, enough of me ranting out the way. That's 30 minutes of me ranting. All right, what y'all want to talk about? What's going on in your neck of the woods? This is the hoodoo help desk portion where y'all ask questions and I give answers and then I rant a little bit or a lot. You know, Tars, we love to rant. We're a ranting people. Um, Here we go. Copy link. Okay. All right. Great question. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm looking for. I'm about to say that's not right. Just give me one second. Let me put this in here. All right. So the question was rituals for the full moon for the eclipse. All right. So in traditional astrological magic and traditional astrology, ironically enough, eclipses against traditional astrology, not the modern stuff, are seen as a bad omen. They're seen as malefic. All right. And the reason for that is because they are seen by the ancient world as an upset of the natural order. All right. The sun and the moon are eating each other, as it were. All right. They are not in balance. Okay. So eclipses are seen with a very sharp eye in traditional astrological practice. All right. Now there are some caveats for that. It depends upon where the eclipse is happening. All right. For example, if you're making an astrological talisman to affect a target, let's say for an aggressive work, all right, if that person has a very strong, all right, so I can't give their name. So let me give an example. There is a person in power whose what ascendant sits upon Regulus. Regulus is a fixed star in the sign of Leo. It's called the king-making star. All right, we get the word regal, Regulus, the king. And so people who are born under that particular placement tend to assume roles of power very easily. They tend to ascend corporate ladders and ladders of status and leadership very easily. All right, there's a regalness about them. They're born under the king star. So, and because of that, they also have a very strong defense around them, like a king in armor, like a king with his own bodyguard. All right. So, if you wanted to affect that person, all right, then you would build a talisman where the eclipse was conjoining with or applying to Regulus. All right, to dismantle, to break, or to cover, to eclipse that good influence that they have over them. All right, and that will give you time to undo them. All right, so that's kind of a way that how eclipses are kind of viewed in traditional magical perspective. All right, full moons Well, there you go. So you know what I'm talking about. All right. Full moons obviously are very good. Are very good. Times of the year, of the month. Definitely want to look to see what sign the full moon is in. Okay, those are very good times for working on certain parts of the body or certain people under zodiacal signs. So to affect them while they're sleeping, right? So for example, what is this? This is we're in Aquarius, so the full moon would be what in Leo, round there about. No, we're in Aquarius. We're towards the end of Capricorn. Okay, so then huh? I had to go back and check these comments. He's throwing me off. Anyway, so what was the trend I was getting to? All right. So yeah. So the full moon. Okay. Yeah. So just coming right into Leo. All right. So that means that parts of the body would be the blood system, the cardiological system, the heart, and the upper back. All right. These are all ruled by Leo and the sun. All right. Also, people who are born Leos. All right. They have a Leo sun or a Leo moon. All right. Will be even more potent if you know that. Okay. Then working on them while they are sleeping under the influence of the moon would be a lot more effective. So we live under the sphere of the moon. So as she waxes it as a faucet spigot, all right. So as she wanes, she's closing up, all right, the energetic current to a certain thing, and as she's waxing and becoming full, she's opening up the current, the stream, the flow into a thing. So we flow the waxing and the waning of the moon. All right. So I would look at that definitely when doing astrological magic. Beware of your malefics. Beware of your aspects. Make sure that the significator you want to work with, whatever planet that may be, whatever aspect that may be, is well aspected in the chart. Preferably if it's on the ascendant or culminating with the midheaven. All right. Those make the most potent talismans. All right. So that gives you some things to think about. Um, all right, I have found a slew of railroad ties. I think you mean railroad spikes. Uh, and would love some ideas for protection, less, etc. So actually, railroad spikes have a number of uses. Okay. Um, Obviously they have their most famous use in protection work or to nail something down, but they can be used for aggressive work also. They can be used for hot footing. Okay. um, it can be used to deal with enemies. All right. So really what you do, you would bind that person or persons magically to that railroad spike and then put it back at the railroad, all right, pointing in the direction from you or from your home or from your location that they're bothering you at. So, for example, you have it pointing away from your job or pointing away from your house or away from your church or whatever the case may be, all right? And again, make sure that the train is also going that direction, all right? As that train begins to pass over that, all right, it is going to, by suction, all right, pull that person out of town and follow the direction of that train, all right, in a similar way. So the beautiful thing about a railroad spike is because it has a twofold nature. It is the railroad and it's the spike, all right. So it really is the two Masonic pillars, right? It is Boaz and Yakin. It is movement or swiftness and railroad ties. Okay. let me look at them because where I'm from, we might not call it that. I'm a very visual person. I learned that too. People are like, yeah, it's a so and so. It's a what? It's a such and such. I never heard of that. You never heard of a such? Did it get mad? You never heard of a such and such? They're like, this is it. It's like, oh, that's what you're dealing with. Like, oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, I'm looking at it. Gotcha. We're working with the railroad in general. Railroad ties, railroad spikes, railroad planks. Um, those tend to be more aggressive workings. All right. So you can tie somebody to the actual plank of the railroad. All right. To command them to control them. All right. I would take that and bury it if you want to keep someone. What is the connection between the railroad spike and Boaz? In metaphysics, there are two pillars. All right, these are the pillars of Solomon's temple. They are Boaz, all right, and Yakin. Have you ever seen the black and white pillars? If you ever see black and white pillars in Hollywood in movies or whatever, that represents the metaphysical principles of Solomon's temple or the Masonic temple. All right. If you've ever looked at the high priestess card in the Torah, you see she's between a black pillar with a white letter and a white pillar with a black letter. Normally it's a B and a J. The B stands for Boaz, right, which means to expand or to increase, to grow, represents movement. All right. And the other one is Yakin. Yakin means to be established. All right. To be established. All right. So it represents movement, swiftness, and stillness. So the railroad spike by the railroad represents movement. You get somebody to move. All right. And then by stillness, it can be, you can nail a person down so they don't move. All right. Nail them in your backyard. If you don't have a railroad spike, you don't have railroads in your area, nails can often work in a pinch. All right. If you don't have railroad, do you have subways? Do you have some type of automated transportation? All right. Where can I get? Yeah, black and white. Yeah, especially if they're like in a lateral sense. Where can I get master root from? Master root. Getting a good supply is um, it's hard to do. Once you get a good supply, you stick with them. A lot of times, master root, you may get the tendrils of master root, the little small hairs, I call them the little fingers of the master root. They kind of sell them like that. You can Google that online, master root. They'll sell you the little hairs of them. But for a whole root, all right, that's hard to come by. It's really hard to come by because they have to be really wild harvested, to be honest with you. When I get them, which is few and far in between, I make them last. I make them last. Many of them just serve as talismans, or I should say as amulets, rather. In other words, I prepare them, so I'll just keep adding to them. I don't take anything away from them. I just keep adding to them, and they keep exerting their influence. Here's another thing, too. With your roots, a root is really always good. It's really always good. So whenever you have like high John roots, low John roots, Elizabeth roots, master root, lucky hand root, etc., Jezebel root, etc., 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 etc. All right. Keep your roots. Keep your roots. All right. Keep them on your altar. Keep them fed. All right. Give them a little bit of whiskey here and there, a little bit of rum now and again. All right. Give them some cigar smoke now and then. Keep them fresh. Keep them quickened. All right. you can, with the roots and a lot of hard material, you can often reuse that in other workings. All right. One of the first laws of hoodoo is practicality. Is it practical? All right. And obviously, when you have a root that's hard to find, it is not practical to use it all up in one sitting. All right. A little bit goes a very, very long way. Okay. All right. All right. So they don't sell master root in your country. You know, um, there are. Here's what you want to know. You want to know, why do you need master root? What is it to do? If it's to master something, then is there an equivalent that you can find in your area? For example, licorice is a master plant. Calamus or sweet flag is a mastering plant. High John the Conqueror, mastering. Elizabeth root, mastering. Jezebel root, to an extent, it has a mastering context. All right. Clove, mastering. To an extent, star anise, mastering. All right. So there are a lot of things that you already have that you can use to master a situation or to extend a mastering element. Again, if you want more details on that, there's an online file, a lesson I did on that, where I talk about the 5 different forms of mastery: commanding, compelling, controlling, seduction, and domination, and what plants lean more towards one than the other. All right. You may need to have just your raw foot on their raw neck, and you may not need that. All right. So, for example, licorice is more controlling. It's more aggressive in its form of mastery, whereas calamus is more sweet. So we often use calamus in love work. It has both a sweet and a controlling element to it. So we powder it down in honey jars. That's for free. That's for free. All right. You can put calamus, powder it down into your sweetening work. All right. So yeah, master root obviously is the quintessential master root. It is called master root. The beautiful thing about master root is that master root looks like a squid. All right, like an octopus. So it has these little tendrils that come out of it. So you can actually wrap people's names or slip them in through, the tentacles, as it were, of the master root, and let them get caught up and ensnared in your control. They can't get get from under you. All right. I need to get someone to pay me back for money I gave them. Yeah, so I would use a combination. I'll give you some things to look at. All right, I'm a teacher by heart, so I might not always give you the answer, but I'll definitely show you how to get there. So let me give you some ideas. 5-finger grass. All right, definitely the quintessential money herb. 5-finger grass, again licorice, again clove, bayberry. All right, those 4 right there are very good. Pay me now or pay me back compound. All right, there is actually TDD babandi. Gogo mamanze kendi bamando kobansha. Okay. There is a writ in the Book of Protections that is called loosing the chase. I believe loosing the chase, and you can adapt for anything you want to release. It can be money, it can be whatever. In this case, it can be your money that's been held on by somebody else. I would make that writ, take those, take a picture of that person or the person concerns, along with the plant charges I gave you, and make a packet. All right, and thin it out really, really, really flat. All right. And put it in your shoe. All right. And when it's not in your shoe, then you can put it under a candle, like a purple candle, a black candle, a green candle. If you want to get fancy, you can get one of those green devil candles. Um, yeah, I've actually only seen. Um, that's not true. I only know one person I'm sure that actually used a green devil candle. That's actually my granddad. He had four of them. And I was like, what are these for? And he didn't really use a lot of candles back in his day. But he had these. He had them in a tin box up on the top part of his closet. He had a shelf in the closet. And I was like, what is, me being nosy, I'm looking through everything. What is that? What is this, Grandpa? And he said that he only called the devil to get him his money back. He said because the devil was the first thief, and he know where all thieves hide. That's what he used to say. Where you open your path to success? Well, where is it? Where is it? Your little show and tell. Okay. So when it comes to road opening work and blockbuster work, right, obviously a place of power, the crossroads, all right, the intersections, all right, the spirits of the crossroad, all right, working with them, making sure they are appeased. First and foremost, let me back up. Let me just take a step back for a moment. First and foremost, ensure that your spirits are fed. That's number one. When stuff goes awry or you feel stopped and blocked, it ain't always somebody throwing at you. All right? Sometimes it's your spirits trying to get your attention. All right? Make sure that your ancestral practice is up to par. All right? Make sure all the spirits that work with you, that you work with, have been fed and have the appropriate offerings, etc. All right? Make sure you've gone through those protocols first. Take care of home first. All right? Now, let's say you've done that. Your spirits are fed. All right? The ancestors are good, etc. Now we move forward. All right? Working with the spirits of the crossroads. All right? You can take a coconut. All right? You can take a coconut and you want to go about 3 o'clock in the morning. All right? Go to a crossroads. Take a coconut. All right? And rub yourself down with it. All right? Like you would a lint roller. All right? And once you finish, break that coconut on the 4-way stop. All right. Break on the 4-way stop. Okay. And then 2 days later, do it again at some other 4-way stop. All right. 2 days later, do it again. So you can do it like on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Friday, etc. All right. And you want to pay the spirit of the crossroads to open, to break open, to crack open, to snap open, to break through whatever resistance you're having, just like the coconut. All right. The coconut is also sacred to the spirit of the crossroads. All right. Bathing, bringing in coconut water into your bath is going to help. All right. Now, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, then collecting the dirt from a crossroads or the dirt from a pothole. All right. This is is something I learned. I'm still learning. Confession, I'm still learning. All right, I'm never going to stop learning. All right, I'm under a new mentor now, teaching me new things. All right, because I'm always about staying on the cutting edge. All right, and one of the things he told me was get the dirt from a pothole. Why? According to the doctrine of signatures and the law of correspondence, all right, that is cement, that is asphalt, all right, that's a road. That road was built to be there for at least 10 years. But not any issues. But something had enough weight or enough force to break through it. That's what you want in your life. You want the force to break through something stubborn, something hard and firm like concrete, like cement, like asphalt. All right? So collect the dirt from, I'm talking about them deep potholes. All right? Also, you can collect the you know, so this is what that is. All right? Smiling Queen, that's what it was. See, I'm in the spirit. All right. You know, these little rocks. All right, prepare. Nothing goes to waste. Something I teach in my class. Nothing goes to waste. So, I collected dirt, and I had my students collect dirt, and it was raining, so they got a lot of mud, a lot of, you know, pebbles and rocks and stuff in the dirt. Nothing goes to waste. We don't just use the dirt and throw out the stick and throw out the rocks. No, everything is used. You just prepare it differently. So we prepared the dirt differently, set that aside, all right? And we prepared the stones differently, set them aside. And you may say, why the stones? Because the stones, these pebbles, these little rocks you walk over, all right, now have the virtue of that pothole, all right? They were there. They were probably the little pieces broken off from the road. They witnessed the thing break through. All right, so you can add them into your charms, into your mojo bags to bring the energy of breakthrough into your amulets. All right, actually made. If you're following me on social media, or if you're in the Hoodoo Bible group, I showed you guys these charms that I made with the cowrie shells and those blockbuster medicines. All right, just fill them up with that, and then add it candle wax to seal it together. All right, and keep that on your person to keep your roads open. All right, obviously plants like Abre Camino, open roads. Plants like Rompe Murala, break the wall or break the barrier. Plants like just open train of thought. Vencedor. Okay. That'll work. That's not what I was thinking of. It was something else. That's what I was thinking of. It'll come to me later. For if you're working in the animal kingdom, animals with horns, all right, or that are quick. So, like in here, all right, there are bull horns. You know, bull will plow through. We get the word bulldozer. You want to break through, you want to plow through resistance. You know, if it's antlers, all right, then that can headbutt itself through. You can use the horse, right? So that's what I'm saying, from the femur of the horse, because it has that horsepower, right, to move. All right. Those are some animal parts you want to think about. All right, horns, hind legs, things like that will help you to break through. That's the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, minerals, the stones we mentioned here, gunpowder, all right, like TNT to blast open the way. So all these are some ideas for you guys to let your spirits play around with and give you all right, are working that'll be beneficial for you. All right. And if you have an idea, definitely join the Hoodoo Bible study and we can discuss them with you if your accommodation makes sense. All right. Okay. I would like to learn how to divine. Okay, so yeah, divination. After ancestral work. All right. The second thing I teach my students, your second priority is form of divination because now you got to know how to hear what they're talking to you. Um, and there's so many different divination systems out there. All right. I say you want about three different systems. All right. You want a internal system that works with your intuition. All right. Your prophetic ability. All right. To tune in, tap in, turn on to by the spirit. All right. Retrieve information from the supernatural world. Then you also want a simple and a complex divination system. You have prophetic training, and then, or your prophetic skills are keen, your intuitive skills are keen, and then you work on your simple divination systems. So what would that look like? Say simple divination system. Um, and I was just about to get to that. Would be a pendulum. All right. A pendulum is a very simple divination system. Okay. You can actually make your own pendulum, and let it double as a jack ball or as a Toby, like this here, or um, like this. All right. Where in your case, you would have your personal concerns in there tied up around a string that you speak to. All right. That's a simple divination system. All right. The cowrie shells, a simple divination system. All right. A lot of the casting of lots are more simple. All right. Not that they're simple, but they are simple. All right. Simple compared to um, some of your more labor intensive, non yes and no type system like tarot, astrology, geomancy, I Ching, etc., playing cards, etc. All right. So you want to have like those three areas covered. All right. Make sure, in other words, number one, have that internal prophetic system keen and good. All right. Then have a good external system, a simple one like a pendulum or the cow thing, something like that, and then a much more intensive one, like for example, um, you know, astrology, something like that. All right. So, because out of the mouth of two or three witnesses that all things be established. All right. The reason why you at least want the first two is because you may get a vision, you may get an internal knowing, you may get any number of prophetic sensations, intuitive sensations within you. But how do you verify that? How do you say, am I seeing this right? All right. When I'm at the altar, when I'm at my shrine with my spirits, they will show me things. I'm a seer. They'll show me a vision of a thing. All right. Or they'll show me what a work should look like. This candle, that jar, whatever. All right. But I don't just go just on that. All right. I then take out my tools and divine. All right. I saw this in the spirit. Am I seeing this right? This is what you're showing me. All right. God told Jeremiah, what do you see? All right. God knew what he was showing him, but he said, what do you see? So the spirits know what they're showing you, but are you seeing what they're showing you? That's why you need two systems. All right. So you can objectively verify what it is you're getting, in what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're sensing, what you're seeing. All right. Right. Trust but verify. That's right. All right. If you have multiple sweetening jars and one seemed to overflow, what's that about? Divine on it. That. What did you put in it? Are you putting heat on it? Is the lid? You know, if you root out the mundane things. For example, if you've got multiple sweetening jars and they're all pretty much the same recipe, and this particular one is doing something weird, then yeah, it's probably spiritual. All right. If you've got 5 different sweetening jars, all right, and they're all doing 5 different things, then they're probably working on what you call them to work on. All right. Normally, I'll tell you that's a good sign. If it's overflowing, I'll tell you that's a good sign. All right. That would be my off the hip answer. But again, divine on it. Okay. All right. And a simple question would be, 3 words. Is all well? Ask your spirits, is all well? Is everything good with this work? If they say yes, good. If they say no, okay, then we need to begin to work through the process of understanding. All right. Yes, it's slow. It's slow, but I'm going to tell you. Number one, that's how you grow as a conjurer, as a spiritualist. A lot of tricks I put out, people like, I never would have thought of that. I know I wouldn't have either. All right. I was at my altar. The Spirit showed me something. I thought it was something else, but then I asked questions. Are you showing me this? One of the famous things I'm known for is the crab shell powder for love work. I was the first to talk about this ever. All right, publicly. And I put it first up on Instagram. Now everybody's doing it. All right. I was working a love case. Needed, I forgot what the herb was at the time. And I said, I'm going to have to stop and go get it, order it, whatever, and then come back. And what's so funny was, everything else I already had, and I already prepared it for that particular time, astrologically. So I was really ticked off. And my spirit said, no, use the crab shell powder. Now, ironically, I had just gotten that crab shell powder like the weekend before from my good friend Theta down at 7 Ray. She got some, had a whole lot. She said, Doc, you want some? I said, of course. I said, am I hearing you right? Crab shell powder? Like the crab shell. Crab shell. My spirit said yes. And I said, okay, explain to me why I would use crab shell powder or crab anything in love work. Now, I'm used to crab shell for protection work because it's a shell. I'm used for it to reverse spells because the crab walks backwards, As my spirit said, why do you use crabs to begin with? All right. I said, because the crab will cause the spell to go back to sender. He said, exactly. It's a reconciliation spell. You want the man to walk backwards to his woman. And, wouldn't you know, in a week and a half, 2 weeks and a half, they were back together. So, yeah. All right, folks. My phone is telling me, hey, Negro, I need a charge. So, I loved it. It's always a blast hanging out with you guys in these cafes. If you've not subscribed to me, do so. If you've not shared it, do so. If you've not left a comment, do so. If you've not rang the bell, do so. Whatever it is you hadn't done, go ahead and do it, whatever that may be. I will post the link. It's in the chat room. I'll post it again under this video for the 21-day miracle. And don't forget, next week is the protection webinar. So You better get in. We've got more than half the seats already full. They are, I mean, flying. Flying. So, yeah, it's $50. Uh, get in there. All right, then. In the meantime, in between time, I hold you all in the light of God that never fails. That never fails. I will check y'all next time.